Now we can say, sadly and excitedly, in a good way, our former colleague, as of about 10 minutes ago, Tulsi Gabbard, is now been confirmed as the Director of National Intelligence. There was no real surprises on the votes. It seemed like the Republicans that were going to vote no did vote no. No one really flipped, but it's smooth. It was pretty smooth sailing other than a few minutes of kind of semi-filibustering.
That's right. The Democrats did try to prolong it as long as they could. They, when they were trying to do a quorum call, they tried to get some extra time in there. But they eventually moved on to the vote. The final tally, 52-48, losing only one Republican. Take a wild guess who that is. The former Senate Majority Leader, Mitch McConnell, voted no. He put out a lengthy statement as to why, that is saying that, the Senate's power of advice and consent is not an option. It's an obligation, and one we cannot pretend to misunderstand. I would love to go back through Senator McConnell's yes votes on some of the worst deep state actors that got elected to nominations.
Where did he put that statement out?
So Chad Pergram from Fox News has the statement. I assume it's probably on his website, but quickest way to get it was from Chad Pergram over at Fox News.
Just curious.
But putting out a statement on why he opposed her and saying that when a nominee's record proves them unworthy of the highest public trust and when their command of relevant policy falls short of the requirements of their office, the Senate should withhold consent.
But I do want to say right before the vote happened, and this will be the last day, I hope, that we have to hear from people like Chuck Schumer really complaining about our friends, if you will. This is Chuck Schumer. Just minutes before the vote began, he decided to get up on his high horse and make a statement. This is bite 3.
I think most senators would agree there are better choices to lead national intelligence. You know what my guess is? If we had a secret ballot, Gabbard might get 10 votes and 40 against her from the other side. People know. That's why they raise so many questions.
And 25 minutes later or so, she was confirmed, or maybe 35 minutes later, as Director of National Intelligence.
That's right. And what Chuck Schumer seems to forget there is that it's advice and consent, not nomination by the Senate. So just because a senator thinks they may know someone who they would like better in that role, that isn't their job. Their job is to give advice and then consent if they go through the hearing process, and unless it is something egregiously disqualifying, and typically the nominee withdraws their name before it even gets that far, they should move forward. That's even why the statement from Senator McConnell rings so hollow when you think about he is one of those rubber stamp type senators when it comes to approving nominations. Now, he did hold off and not move Merrick Garland through as Supreme Court Justice at the end of Obama's term. That's probably the one good thing that I can point to immediately that he did on nominations. But he is of that old guard that was very traditionally just rubber stamping nominees through. And he all of a sudden decides that he doesn't like Tulsi Gabbard and decides to be the lone Republican no vote. Fortunately, it wasn't necessary. All of the ones that we were concerned about through the process decided that through the process of advice and consent, of having the meetings with the nominee, having the hearings, follow-up questions, the background checks, all of this, that even if they had early concerns or disagreed on some policy, that at the end of the day, they shared a vision with Tulsi Gabbard on how to lead the department and the office of the Director of National Intelligence. It's a great day for America. It's a great day for the viewers of this broadcast, the members of the ACLJ, because in what world did you think, Logan, or myself even, that a colleague on the broadcast or someone that our audience has gotten to know very well, even though she was a national name within the conservative movement, our audience really got to start to know her very early on compared to everyone else. So you have seen and heard from her. You've been almost conducting hearings on her worthiness for years now by hearing what she has to say. And it's just a remarkable moment. And it also shows that the Democrats, especially in the Senate, are so freaking out about what's going to happen next because they can't contain themselves that Chuck Schumer is having to get up there and say, I bet only 10 people would actually vote for her if it was a secret ballot. Fortunately, it's not how it works. It's a roll call vote. And I don't believe him at all on that as well. That is just hyperbole and him trying to make a last-ditch effort of getting her not confirmed. It didn't work. He failed. The left failed. All of the smear campaign that she's a puppet and a Russian agent failed. 52-48. Tulsi Gabbard is your next director of national intelligence.
We have a comment coming in, a question on line 6. I want to go ahead and take this call. Jerry in Rhode Island. Jerry, I think you have a statement that a lot of our longtime listeners and longtime viewers will agree with.
Anybody who's been listening to this show for 10 years, there's a short list of people in office that anything they say we don't listen to. Schumer and Schiff are two of those names.
I think that's probably right. Maybe you won't have to hear from them for all that long, but they're still going to be around, I'm sure, whether it's in the press. We know that Adam Schiff has greater plans. But you know that if it's coming out of the mouth of one of those two, then unfortunately we just don't really take it with any validity.
That's right. And what you also have to remember here is that there are still two other controversial nominees that I feel like Adam Schiff and Chuck Schumer will now triple down on their efforts.
I think these are somewhat, and I'd say with RFK Jr., easier to kind of pick apart because the views, Tulsi Gabbard, you look at her background, look at how much she served this country. She has risked her life for this country for decades now. To say that she is not trusted after she'd been through 5 FBI clearances, everything that she had done, security clearances, all the work that she has done before. Now you get to an RFK Jr., which is happening, the cloture vote is happening really as we speak, which means tomorrow he could be confirmed. That one is a little bit easier for both Republicans and Democrats to question, poke holes in, because some of his views, look, whether you agree with them or not, some of his views previously or currently are quite controversial. Whether you agree with them or not, they are controversial points of view.
That's right. And as you mentioned, as far as the ease of the Democrats to try to pick apart a record, Tulsi should not have been easy for them and wasn't easy for them. And they didn't sink her nomination. But I agree. RFK probably is a tougher sell in that world, but I don't think that he's going to get a hiccup here at the end. As we speak, the cloture vote's at 44-39, so we're about, let's say, 7 away from invoking cloture, and then we could move forward. You see a live view of it there in the Senate as they're going forward, and as soon as that happens, then 30-hour clock starts tomorrow afternoon. The other one is Kash Patel. And I think because there's so much vested interest with the Democrats in the deep state, that's why Tulsi Gabbard and Kash Patel have scared them as far as their nominations. And now the Democrats they knew they had lost on the Tulsi battle last night, so they started to push out new smear campaigns against Kash Patel. Senator Durbin is trying to accuse him of perjury within his hearing, saying that he's actually been coordinating the FBI the entire time, even though he's not confirmed yet. So strong words coming out of the Democrats, trying to derail him at the last minute. Tomorrow is supposed to be a committee vote for him out of the Senate Judiciary Committee.
We are so excited to announce the ACLJ's brand new app, completely redesigned to provide you with the best tools available to partner with us at the ACLJ. You can watch the daily Secular program, sign the petitions, customize your ACLJ membership experience, donate with the click of a button, and receive up-to-the-minute critical updates that the mainstream media can't censor. Just scan the QR code on your screen or go to your phone's app store, search ACLJ, and click install. It's that simple.